If emotivism is true, does that mean that morality is just vibes?
In the realm of ethics, like what's good, what's bad, what should you do, what shouldn't you do, everyone's familiar with that kind of language. If I say, like, it's bad for you to kick a homeless person on the street, you kind of understand what I'm saying, you get what I mean. But a philosopher will hear that statement and try to break it down. What literally do we mean? What does this word like bad mean? The ethical emotivist is someone who thinks that ethical statements are just expressions of emotion. It means that when you say something is good or bad, or that you should or shouldn't do something, all of that moral language is a kind of emotional expression.
If emotivism is true, does that mean that morality is just vibes?
More or less, yeah.
Although I think that the one thing's worth noting is that even if you put forward this emotivist thesis, it doesn't necessarily mean that anything goes. So we're very quick to...
Yeah, because that's an obvious sort of follow-on.
Well, but just because we're very quick to generally say, okay, something is, I'll say subjective, in the sense that, say it's different from subjectivism, but there's somebody can say boo and another person can say yay, at least in theory. But of course, there are constraints on this. I think that sometimes we get very caught up in ideas about objectivity and subjectivity, and actually sometimes I think what we're actually often getting at is the difference between stability and instability. So, and like most people think that beauty is subjective in some way, right? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, famously. And there are people that dispute that, but that's a pretty majority view. It doesn't follow from that you can, in fact, find anything beautiful. You just can't, try. Like, if you try and, look at a dog turd on the street and just be like, there's so many of my analogies have been dog turd related. But, a dog turd on the street and just try and find it beautiful, you'll find that you can't. And so, plausibly, there are still restrictions on the kind of things that people can and, in fact, do find beautiful. And so you kind of say, it doesn't follow just from... if you were an emotivist, it doesn't follow just from the fact that, or the idea putting forward that all ethical statements are emotional expressions, that this means that we're going to have total chaos and that everyone's going to value different things. There are plausibly just pragmatic constraints on the kind of things that people feel moral disgust about.
Which is going to cause some kind of consensus.